Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to Cooking with Anita. I'm Anita and today I have for you two super delicious recipes of chocolate cookies. One of milk chocolate with nuts and another one of white chocolate with mixed berries. This recipe is perfect for you to share with your family, your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or even your situationship, whoever you want to share them with. So let's get started. Now guys, the most important step for all my recipes is to get ready the ingredients at the beginning. As you may know, with sweet recipes, sometimes it's really hard or almost impossible to fix them at the end, especially if it's a baked good. So before we do the other rest of the steps, get the ingredients now.
Frozen berries, all-purpose flour, white chocolate, milk chocolate, butter, light brown sugar, white sugar, rolled oats, caramel sauce, egg, salt, baking soda, macadamia and pecan nuts, vanilla extract. Now we're gonna take the butter, put it in a big pot, and we're gonna melt it at around a medium to low heat temperature. The idea is that we're going to brown the butter. We wanna see that it gets a caramelish brownish color and a little bit of burnt pieces at the end, if that makes sense. A sign that our butter is ready is that you are going to see bubbles. This process may take between 10 to 15 minutes. So once that's ready, we're gonna take the hot butter, put it in a different container, and mix the light brown sugar, the white sugar, and the caramel sauce together using a whisk. So yeah, just go for it. You don't need to mix super hard, but just make sure that all the ingredients get incorporated together. At the end, you're going to see like a brownish wet butter, but that's the consistency that we want at this point. That mixture is going to be hot. Let it rest to room temperature while we go to the next steps. Now what I like to do with my chocolate, I want to cut it rather than getting chocolate chips because I want to see different sizes of chocolate in my cookies. So I think the best way to cut this is using diagonally. You take your chocolate bar and then you put it sideways and then use the knife to cut it and get like different chocolate pieces, different sizes. Use a really sharp knife and use a wooden board ideally. So I'm first doing that with my milk chocolate and then putting it in a container, and then I'm going to repeat that step with the white chocolate. The reason we want our butter mixture to be completely at room temperature is because if you put all your chocolate pieces and the egg before this is cooled down, you're not going to be able to see the different textures of the chocolate, and the cookie is going to taste nice but not be visually appealing. Now that we have our butter mixture at room temperature, we're going to mix our dry ingredients, the rolled oats, the all-purpose flour, the salt, and the baking soda. I'm using a fork to make this process easier, just to make sure that everything is mixed properly before I incorporated it into the batter dough. I'm going to put first my egg into the batter mixture, and then once I do that, I'm going to put the vanilla extract. In this occasion, I put it in a small container, but you can actually use the bottle where the vanilla extract comes from and then put it directly into the mixture. I'm going to take the whisk out of the bowl because I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to use a spatula instead. So I'm now putting my dry ingredients inside the batter mixture, and I'm using the spatula to make sure that everything gets mixed properly. You may see that it looks like a brownish funny color, but that's completely fine. Just make sure that everything gets mixed properly. Because I'm going to do two flavors of cookies, I'm going to take my cookie dough and I'm using a foot scale to divide it into two halves, basically. I made this more complicated than it should have been, but that's fine. Basically, you can do it like a guesstimation of the two halves, or you can use the foot scale like I did. I highly recommend the foot scale if you're into desserts. Now I'm going to do my white chocolate cookies. So I'm just taking the cookie dough, incorporating the white chocolate and the frozen berries. It's very, very important that the berries are frozen, because otherwise the mixture is going to be really sluggish. Whereas if you have the berries frozen, you're going to see like the pieces of the fruit once you bake the cookies, and visually it's going to look nice, and flavor wise you're going to get that like that burst of the fruit when you bite into the cookie. These cookies are amazing because of that. So yes, that you need to use your hands as well. That's the other recommendation that I have for you. Don't be afraid of using your hands. Now I'm doing the different balls for the cookies. I did a guesstimation, but again, you can use the food scale as well. This time I did 8 cookies, but this recipe is actually up to for 12 cookies. So it's up to you if you want to do 8 or 12. As I was telling you before, you can see the pieces of the fruit, so which I think it's really cool. It gives it like a different experience. Now I'm cutting my pecans because I wanted again to have like different pieces, different sizes to make the cookie visually appealing. I usually toast my nuts before I incorporate them into the cookies because I want to bring out their flavor, and this is a way to do it. Just do it around 200 degrees from 5 to 10 minutes and make sure that they don't get burned. Once they're cooled down, I'm going to do my milk chocolate cookies. So again, I take the cookie dough, I add the nuts, and I add the milk chocolate into the mixture, and again I'm using the spatula to incorporate everything together. This cookie is going to be drier than the previous one because we're not using the frozen berries. It doesn't have a fruit element into it, so it's going to be a drier mixture. Just use your hands. It's going to get like a wetish sand texture. And now you're going to again do the 12 or the 8 cookie balls, whatever you prefer. Very important as well, once you do your cookie balls, you're going to cover them with a cling wrap and then put them in the fridge for at least 1 hour. If you can do these cookies the day before, even better, because then all those flavors are going to like get together, incorporate together, and you're going to get even a more flavorsome cookie. But if you can do it for 1 hour, that's still fine. So I'm just putting them in the fridge. I did the same thing previously with the white chocolate cookies. So once the hour has passed, you take them out. This time I'm doing 3 white chocolate cookies and 3 milk chocolate cookies, and I'm going to put them in the oven at 190 degrees for 10 to 11 minutes, no more than that. Then we have our cookies ready. You will see that the fruit cookie, the one with the white chocolate, has like a little bit of run out of that fruit burst, like the fruit juices, if that makes sense. But that's fine, that's normal. You need to let the cookies completely cool down so they're more like held together, because the dough can be very soft if you don't do that. You can also maybe after 10-20 minutes, if you want to, you can put them in the fridge a little bit to accelerate that process. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So then you can reward yourself or your family or your friends and eat these delicious cookies. As you can see, we can see the different pieces of the chocolate. You can see the different pieces of the fruits. They're sweet, but they're not overwhelmingly sweet. Obviously, it has a lot of sugar, but it's, I don't know, it's like a nice sugar. It's like a caramel sugar flavor. So yeah, just give them a try. Try the recipe. Don't be afraid of cooking them, of baking them. And yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, guys.